Chisom lived happily with her parents, Uche and Uzo. They were a small, tight-knit family in Lagos, with Uzo being a loving father and Uche a devoted mother. Little did Chisom know that this happiness was fragile, as a dark secret was about to unravel. One evening, Uzo returned home late, his clothes smelling of an unfamiliar perfume. Uche, already suspicious, confronted him. Uzo lied, claiming the woman she suspected, Isioma, was his sister. Uche's heart ached, but she chose to believe him for Chisom's sake. Uche soon discovered that Isioma was not Uzo's sister, but his mistress. The betrayal was too much to bear. After a heated argument, Uche packed her bags, took Chisom and left, vowing never to look back. The separation broke Chisom's heart, but she remained strong for her mother. Uche struggled to raise Chisom on her own, working multiple jobs to make ends meet. Despite the hardship, she never let Chisom feel unloved or neglected. Uche's resilience and love became the foundation of Chisom's character. Meanwhile, Uzo brought Isioma into his home, hoping to start anew. They had children together, but Isioma's presence only brought chaos. She pampered her children excessively, turning them into spoiled, disrespectful brats who caused Uzo constant grief. Uzo regretted his decisions as his life with Isioma turned into a nightmare. His children, instead of bringing joy, became a source of shame as they turned to crime and deceit, betraying the trust he had in them. Chisom, despite the challenges, excelled in school. She dreamed of becoming a lawyer, driven by a desire to fight for justice. Inspired by the injustice her mother had suffered, Uche supported her dream, encouraging Chisom every step of the way. Uzo's health began to deteriorate, a consequence of Isioma's infidelity and the stress of his chaotic household. His once vibrant spirit faded, replaced by a man worn down by regret and poor decisions. He moved to Benin, seeking peace but finding none. Kelechi, Uzo's son from a previous marriage where his wife passed away, then he married Uche, visited him in Benin, hoping to heal his ailing father through traditional medicine and prayers. They had long conversations about life, regret, and Uzo's wish to leave a portion of his property to Chisom, whom he still loved dearly. While Uzo was in Benin, Isioma back in Lagos began dating other men. She sent her children to spy on Uzo, who had escaped to Benin due to Isioma's treachery and diabolical practice at home, ensuring he remained under her control. Uzo's health worsened and he began to sense that his end was near. One fateful day, as Uzo tried to pump water into the overhead tank, it collapsed, crushing him to death. Isioma's children quickly informed her and she ordered them to loot the house and flee before Kelechi could discover what had happened. Kelechi returned to Benin to find his father dead and the house ransacked. He was heartbroken, not just for the loss of his father, but for the betrayal by Isioma and her children. The family Uzo had tried to build was now in ruins. Before his death, Uzo had confided in Kelechi his wish to leave Chisom a piece of land in Benin, but with Isioma's refusal to release the house in Lagos, Kelechi, overwhelmed by greed and desperation, decided to keep everything for himself. Kelechi, lacking business acumen and facing mounting financial pressures, began selling off Uzo's properties, including the land meant for Chisom. He squandered the wealth and soon, the once vast estate crumbled into nothingness. Meanwhile, Chisom graduated from law school and was called to the bar. She became a successful lawyer, earning a respectable income and making a name for herself. Her success stood in stark contrast to Kelechi's decline. Kelechi, now poor and unable to provide for his family, reached out to Chisom for help. He was a shadow of the man he once was, broken by his own greed and poor choices. He extended an olive branch, hoping for her forgiveness. Chisom was torn. Kelechi had betrayed her, taking what was rightfully hers, but he was still her brother. Uche advised her to follow her heart and not let anger dictate her actions. Chisom wrestled with her feelings, knowing she had the power to help her turn her back on him. Chisom, remembering her contribution in ensuring Kelechi could care for their father with her financial contributions, ignored him. She was too angry to forgive so soon. Kelechi continued to suffer. His wife, knowing that the money wasn't forthcoming as before, threatened to leave the marriage. Chisom wanted him to suffer for his greediness. Seeing his desperation and deterioration in health, she realized how far he had fallen. Her heart softened and she decided to help, not out of obligation, but because she believed in second chances. Chisom agreed to a meeting and reconsidered. She assisted with the little money she was comfortable offering him and decided to keep a distance afterward. The death of her father and Kelechi's betrayal of trust was something she would never forget quickly. Working together, Chisom and Kelechi slowly rebuilt their relationship. Kelechi apologized for his actions, and though it took time, Chisom forgave him. The bond that had been shattered began to mend. Isioma's life took a turn for the worse. Her wayward children turned against her and she was left alone, shunned by the community. The life of luxury she had built on lies crumbled, leaving her with nothing. Chisom's legal career flourished and she became a voice for the voiceless, fighting for justice in cases that reminded her of her own past. Her influence grew, and so did her impact on the community. Chisom visited Uzo's grave, finally confronting the pain of her past. She forgave her father for his mistakes, knowing that holding onto the past would only keep her from moving forward. It was a moment of closure for her. Isioma, now alone and facing the consequences of her actions, sought ways to reach out to Kelechi as the oldest in the family. Her children were at risk of either getting imprisoned or killed due to their lifestyle. The children who lived lavish lives when their father provided for them could not survive on less than the wealth they were accustomed to. They brought shame and disgrace to their mother. All the men Isioma dated rejected her after Uzo's passing. She knew she was responsible for Uzo's mysterious death. Chisom never forgave Isioma for her father's death. Although Uzo was quite old, she knew he could have lived longer had Isioma not cheated in a marriage. Chisom and Uche lived a happy, peaceful life, free from the burdens of the past. They had all grown, learned, and found a way to move forward together. Their story, once filled with pain, was now one of hope and redemption. Thank you for listening to this story. And if you came this far, here is the moral of the story. The moral of this story is that everyone has the power to change their life's path. No matter how dark the past is, there's always a way forward if one is willing to work hard and embrace hope. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.